Okay, so let's take where we are this morning, starting with the ES. I'm just going to quickly start with this day trading chart, actually this 3-minute chart, because there may be a trade coming up. This was the low yesterday, okay? And I'll go to the fibs and the longer term charts in a moment on it. But from there, we had a nice strong move out late in the day yesterday, a pullback, and then this overnight. And we've come up to just over the 1.0 extension in terms of the relationship between this A wave and this C wave here. So if we're in the B wave back up, that can be one of two things. That can be the A wave of A. I think if we take this top out without pulling back further this morning, then watch 93 through 2801 and possibly up to 2814. That would then give us a leading diagonal up off the low, and we would then get a deep pullback. But if, as I suspect, we've just come up here and just shy of this 764 retrace of the move down off this morning's high, if we're getting an A, then an A, B, C down to here to 2739 to 2729, and then we'll get the C wave up, which really, while we're below 2800, we can still make another low in below yesterday's low before we start the path back up. Okay, so on the assumption that we have seen a local low yesterday, this is the path that I'd expect to see today. So B wave back, C wave up, or we take this blue line out, pop up here to 2814 or so, and then get a deep retrace. So that's the path or paths to expect today. So that's it. Now, let's come back and start to analyze that from the top down time frame wise. So this is the daily chart of the ES that we went through in some detail a few times yesterday. And you can see we came down here to what I think is the bottom of an A wave of this 2 in a much bigger diagonal. So we should now get this B up. So I don't know whether any of you bought SSO yesterday, but if you didn't, there may be another opportunity on a pullback today. I wouldn't recommend doing this in futures. So as Yogan's just pointed out, much better just to day trade futures with these kind of ranges and with smaller stakes. You can wake up to a heart attack otherwise, which is not a great way to start your day. So up to here, and then we'll start to monitor this on the way up as we get to the 618 retrace, but I'm expecting the 764 at 2890 and then the move down to 2640 before we start the 3 up. And again, it's going to be an A, B, C move, if this count is correct, to at least 3048 and possibly 3154. But it's not going to be the easiest thing to stick with. And even the A wave and the C wave can subdivide and give us something horrible. So personally, with futures, I'm just going to day trade and then use a 2 times rather than 3 times leveraged ETF for anything else in terms of holding for slightly longer periods. I'm not inclined in this kind of environment to hold futures contracts overnight, and certainly not over weekends in the US indices. Coming down to the 4-hour chart, now you can see if this was the top of the 1 and all of this is an A wave, I've got a leading diagonal down to here for the 1, small 2 back, the 3 that came down to that 2.0 extension, the 4 that held the 123.6, and that low yesterday was an exact hit on the 238.2. So our target was from 26.95 to 27.12, and we came down, hit the 27.12, and we've bounced. However, that can still be a 3. We've got to get back over here, this 28.01 followed by 28.19. Otherwise, we can still get a swing down to 26.95 before we start this B wave up. So it's still treacherous, and the intraday ranges are big. The VIX is elevated. We've got high volatility. Half stakes and be careful. But as you saw yesterday, in no time at all, we were able to grab 25 points out of the market on 1 trade. So you don't need large amounts of money to, sorry, large stakes to make relatively large amounts of money. Just a quick look then at the hourly chart, which I've just posted in the room. If this was the low yesterday, then I think we've got an A in here. We get a B back this morning, C up. That's the path I've just given you in the 3-minute chart. The caveat being, if we make another high here, then that would give us a leading diagonal A, then we get the B, C, up to around the 28-27 mark, which would be the 50% retrace fib. Then we get this B wave, which I'd expect to see early part of next week. And then we get this up to this 764. Now, the structure of this and the nature of this, it's going to be tricky because in a diagonal, we don't necessarily expect straightforward impulses on the upside, even for an A wave of a diagonal. So we're looking for clues as to whether this is corrective up or it's the beginning of something else on the way. But all of this is going to take, a week, 10 days to play out, I would think. So there we go. Short term, you've got the roadmap or the two potential roadmaps for today.